Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of the talk show. Of course, today we're talking New Year's resolutions continued, how to really kind of self-improve, self-empower, streamline your life. We've got Michaela and Sean, Sean and Michaela, and Sandra Possing, our life coach, is here to help us figure this all out. Okay, so to take us away, I think, Sandra, you have a tool that we can all use sort of to kick off the assessment of our own lives.
Exactly. So in the coaching world, we use a lot of tools, and this is a very common one. I do it with almost every client at our first session. It helps you assess where you are in your life. And this is a tool where it's not about impressing anyone. This is about being really honest with yourself. So we've all done this exercise. You'll see mine up on the screen to show you what it looks like. It's just a big circle on a piece of paper divided into 8 sections. And we're going to go through each section. What you want to do is be really honest about each section of your life and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is pretty dismal, could use some help. 10 is you're doing really well and you're very excited, very satisfied. So you've all had a chance to do this exercise now, and we want to hear how it went for you. You at home, you'll get a chance to hopefully do this on your own and see how it is. Why don't you give us a little kind of overview? What was the experience like? What did you notice about your wheel of life?
Well, I mean, something I know about me anyway, being a mum, we've said this before, Sukhinder, is that as parents, I mean, my needs are always way down the bottom. And whereas my home life is great, I've just bought a house, blah, 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 all of the things that I work really hard for to sort out and make streamlined are right up there. But my personal neglect is actually the counterpoint of it. So, yeah, you know, I mean, I'd love some more time for myself, but my kids obviously come first because they always will. But nevertheless, without me being strong, they can't be strong. So it's a catch point. So I've got to work on myself more. And that's what I noticed.
So, Michaela, how did you find this exercise?
Well, first of all, I love these types of exercises. I actually seek them out. I think I excel in physical environment. I love where I live, love creating a super strong home life. And areas of improvement could definitely be in health, which I'm working on, the Joyus Fitness Challenge. So yeah, that's kind of where I am.
So for me, I guess I saw reflected exactly where I think my life is at. Anybody who knows me knows that I have a perspective on life that's you have to put a lot in to get something out. So I've never been particularly balanced. You know, I always think I'm trading off one area for another, honestly. And I saw the same thing reflected. I didn't have any categories that were like a 2, but I had a bunch that were 5 or 6, and they were all around things that are in kind of maintenance mode would be the wrong mode, but I wouldn't say that they're improving vastly. They're not getting worse, but they're not getting better. So family, recreation, what else was in there? Physical environment, there's a whole cluster. And then the things I felt really comfortable about, I kind of know I'm putting a lot of energy into. So like career was up there. Personal growth, because I actually think for me, Joyus is about my personal journey. It's not really just about running any company, it's about running this company, right? And for whatever I want to give to the world. And so like, but it was those extremes, and I think I think I'm pretty aware of them, and I feel like I'm always trading them off. And I kind of just saw that reflected in the chart. Not that it wasn't enlightening, it's just like I felt like it was telling me kind of where I'm putting my energy. It was validating that.
I felt the same, completely.
And a lot of it is where you put your focus and your energy and your time. And you'll see that your wheel of life will change. I can do it today and then do it again in 6 months, and it may look very different. But it reflects where your priorities are and what you're up to in your life.
Okay, so now on to the process of helping us actually get to the next level. What do we do?
So I have 3 steps for you.
Okay.
It's kind of a life philosophy that I started as a blog post. It came into, it's kind of how I live my life now. 3 simple steps. Step 1 is simplify. Step 2 is prioritize. Step 3 is clarify.
Okay.
So simplifying to me is all about letting go of what doesn't serve you, literally or figuratively. And it's by letting go, you're creating space for what you want to create in your life or what you want to go get. For the prioritizing, you are choosing in a way that's much more intentional and mindful than a lot of us choose. We sort of live our lives in reactionary ways sometimes. So prioritizing is about decision making in a way that's really aligned with who you are. And then the clarify piece is about getting clear on who you really are. So who knew that by organizing your closet, you could find your life purpose? But you can't. It's connected. Right?
So are there tips you can help us with? Like, so I hear you simplify, prioritize, clarify, but like, okay, simplify. Like, so what do we do? Yeah, how?
So I'm so glad you asked. I love tips. So with the simplification thing, I kind of use the same thing we did for the Wheel of Life, right? You're rating your life on a scale of 1 to 10 in these different areas. You can do the same thing with stuff. You know, pick up an old concert T-shirt or something in your kid's room and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 for your level of satisfaction and whether you need it or not in your life. Maybe in the beginning it's scary and you start out with 5s and 6s and you're hanging on to everything, right? It's hard to let go sometimes. But I say if it's not a 9 or a 10, just toss it.
You know, I just got rid of a ton of stuff and I'm already thinking, where did I keep that? In my head, as you're talking, I didn't need that, I didn't need that, wait. Goodwill is doing well by me.
Let me know which one that you go to so that I can hit that up.
Exactly. Her 9 is our like 1. Her 1 is our 9. We're like, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I've seen the makeup in your kit.
What if you could have? What if everything in your life, the physical stuff and the intangible, the emotional, the baggage, that kind of stuff? What if everything was an 8, 9, or 10? What would that look like?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
You know?
huge.
For those of you who are feeling advanced, like I've purged so much stuff out of my life, I'm almost a minimalist at this point.
Right.
I'm ready to go live in a temple. What if you get rid of one thing every day? That's my challenge to you. Whether it's a piece of Tupperware, a teddy bear, or something more important, like one thing a day.
Okay, good challenge. One thing every day. Okay, cool.
So the second step, prioritizing, is kind of all about decision making. How do you make decisions that when you're faced with a decision, it's like all this other clutter, you know, kind of gets in the way, the distractions, the back and forth. So how do you make decisions? How do you really prioritize in your life? And the tip I have for that is to ask your 90-year-old self. So in coaching, we talk a lot about your authentic self. And the authentic self is like the you that really knows what's up and knows what's best for you. It's the part of you that doesn't listen to all the negative self-talk. So by talking to your 90-year-old self, you know, figuratively speaking, that's the part of you that is not concerned with all the little, the minutiae of daily life anymore. It's not concerned with the promotion or the this or what people think. It's the part of you that is wise, that has lived a good life, and that is like, oh yeah, go do that. So simple.
So the 90-year-old self prioritizing those 8 categories and saying, these ones matter, these ones don't for me. I mean,
Could be.
It's a perspective though, isn't it? I mean, when you talk to an older person, I love their wisdom. You know, they've lived through it, they know what's valuable and what isn't. And quite often it's just the most refreshing conversation that you have. I'm talking to my grandmother.
And that's exactly it. Grandmothers are not afraid to say, you know, cut the crap. What do you really want? What's important to you?
Right.
You know? And then for clarify, this is the place that I like to play with my clients. It's all about self-awareness. And this is the place where it's a place of being in questions. So, you know, who are you? What are you passionate about? What is your purpose? What's really meaningful to you? And once you've gotten rid of you simplified your life and gotten rid of all the literal and the figurative clutter, you can start to really ask yourself these challenging questions. My tip for the clarify place is just to get wildly curious about your own life. Get wildly curious, and this is something you can do. It helps to have a coach, but you can also do it with a partner or a friend or a family member, and sit down with them and have them ask you some serious questions.
like what's an example of a question they would ask you in the clarifying process?
You know, why are you here? What are you most passionate about? What are your top 3 passions? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You know, where do you see yourself in a year? Like, those are all the kind of questions that come up on a pretty regular basis.
And do you do that while you're prioritizing? It seems to me that both those things go hand in hand.
They do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not total sequence.
No,
It's
exactly.
yeah.
It's not like you have to finish simplifying
One, two,
before you
yes,
can prioritize.
got it, yes.
It's just sort of a simple
mental
process
exercise.
to remember, but you're actually doing all 3 at the same time.
Well, what would be great as we kind of finish up this segment is if you could share with us, maybe via our Facebook feed, the 4 or 5 questions you think people can ask themselves in this stage.
Sure.
Cool. Because I think that would be really good to get all of us thinking and our viewers thinking about what other questions they should be asking themselves if they didn't even know they should be asking themselves. Cool. All right. Well, with that, great tips, great advice. I feel like we've got our wheel of life, our 3 mental models, it's like zigging away. But seriously, thank you for actually helping us just kind of have a framework to think about how to prioritize our lives mentally, spiritually, physically for the new year. Of course, to go along with that, our giveaway today is our over-the-door jewelry organizer, so you can get rid of half your closet and keep the rest nicely organized. All you need to do is share with us your own tips on prioritizing, simplifying, clarifying, and what we can all do to sort of make those New Year's resolutions stick. And with that, of course, we're going to give you a preview of what's coming up this week on Joyus.